I loved our first conversation earlier on where you told us, it all starts by waking up and putting those positive thoughts in your mind, but that's not as easy to do.
Yeah, but one's got to try, one's got to take the first step. But there's another thing as well that's very important to me, and as we were chatting, I was saying, most of the things I talk about are from personal experience, lessons I've learned. And I remember as a youngster, I worked on cruise ships for many years as an entertainer. And I'll never forget, if you've never, we can't talk about our local cruise line because we've got younger crowds, but the international American ones, it's always elderly people. They're the only people who've got money. So whether retirement annuities have paid us, it's like working on a floating old age home. And I'll never forget, as a youngster, I'm on these ships and all these old people, and when the ship would stop somewhere, they'd go on tours, and young guys, you'd go hi-fis, electronics, and whatever, and they'd look at flowers. I'm like, I thought they were Japanese tourists. They take thousands of pictures of flowers. I could never understand it. Plus, a lot of them had long faces. And when you're younger, you're naive. And it took me about 3 months on the ship before I went up to one of these elderly people, a gentleman, in fact, and I still looked at him, and as we would say in South Africa, we're like, hey, what's your pluck with the flowers? Why the long face? What's going on here? You've got bucks, you've got a long face, and you love flowers. I don't understand. And he said to me, it's because I'm alone. And I'm like, what do you mean you're alone? He says, my wife's passed on, my kids died in an accident, I'm bitter at life and what life has thrown at me. And I was like, whoa, and that really hit me. And I started then over the months speaking to all the passengers I met, and they're elderly, and I always say, they say you can learn from someone that's older than you, even a day older. A lot of respect, and I learned so much from them, and it changed my philosophy as a young person. In a nutshell, the 3 things I learned, they said they spent most of their life making money their God and running after money. In that process, they never had time for their family, their friends, their kids. If I look at the viewers back home, how many of you had your parents say to you, I can't believe how quick you're growing up? Or do you remember your parents saying that to you?
Of course.
Why would you say that?
You're getting so big now.
You don't have enough time with them. The day you're older and retire, your biggest regret is that I didn't read that bedtime story to my child. I only wish I'd done it then. So we get caught up in the other nonsense. Often you see elderly very sickly. Why? Because their whole life they just worked. They ran after money. They never looked after the most precious asset they had, their own body. They never stayed healthy, ate healthy, stayed fit. You can't get that back. So as a younger person, we tend to, they say in Afrikaans, ons hol lekker rond. The whole time. We don't know why, okay? But we like this. But if you can realize that my family, my friends, my co-workers, the health that I have, and the most important, the third thing is that wealth is not this, but it's the beauty and the scenery, what we've been given out there. That's where pure wealth lies. You know what? You become chilled and rustig in here, and then everything starts coming your way. But it's a mindset change.
It's a mindset, and that you also describe in your book, Discover Your Magic.
And she said to him, I'm just going to go to the back and discuss this inside in the Super Bowl at Sun City. Isn't it awesome? The last time
my back, and that means as the German Master of Ceremonies, I will take no nonsense.
Im Namen der Deutschen Lufthansa heiße ich Sie alle herzlich willkommen hier in Seeheim. For a tea break, take 5, be back in 10 and see you in 15. Good morning, Barclays, and a hearty welcome to 2000. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my promotional video. Ich hoop regtig dat ihr dit besonders geniet het und ich freue mich sehr auf eine zukünftige Zusammenarbeit. All that is left for me to say is I look forward to adding that magical touch to your next conference or event. Thank you very much and goodbye.